Welcome back to the channel, you guys. The writers are not holding back this summer, especially when it comes to Chanel and Johnny. Over the next 2 weeks, from August 10th to the 21st, Chanel finds herself going into premature labor, and she is immediately rushed to the hospital. And you won't believe what happens next, because the spoilers are telling us this is going to be a highly traumatic delivery with severe complications. My heart is just breaking for this girl. Chanel has already been dealing with an aggressive breast cancer diagnosis, and she made the incredibly brave, yet terrifying, choice to refuse chemotherapy to protect her unborn baby. That is a mother's ultimate sacrifice. But now, her body is giving out, and the premature labor is going to send Johnny and Paulina into an absolute tailspin of panic. I have to offer a personal opinion here. I am terrified for Chanel, but I am even more terrified of what this is doing to Johnny's psyche. Johnny is currently carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. We all know he is hiding a massive, dangerous secret for his father, EJ. Johnny knows that EJ has been hiding a dying Lexi Carver down in the Demera tunnels to cover up his twisted scientific failures. Can you believe it? Johnny is sitting in a hospital waiting room, praying his wife and baby survive, all while knowing his own father is playing God with people's lives. The psychological toll this is taking on Johnny is immense. If Chanel or the baby doesn't make it, I truly believe Johnny will snap. He will completely turn his back on the Demera legacy. He has spent his whole life trying not to become Stefano or EJ, but this level of trauma could either make him the ultimate hero or push him straight into villainy. But here's the kicker about the romance department in Salem right now. We need to talk about Javi Hernandez. The week of August 17th is going to bring a massive wake-up call for Javi regarding his love life. Javi finally comes to the tough realization that his heart still completely belongs to Leo Stark. Because of this, Javi is going to break things off with Gus and get totally honest about his true feelings. Amazing. I know a lot of fans think Leo is a toxic nightmare who ruins every life he touches, but I actually think Javi and Leo have this undeniable, chaotic chemistry that just works. Gus was sweet, but let's face it, he was a placeholder. Right now, Leo is trapped in a terrifying hostage situation in Alamainia with Gwen, all thanks to the delusional Dimitri von Leuschner. Javi has been literally sick with worry, and that anxiety is what finally shattered his relationship with Gus. When you think the person you love might die, all the superficial stuff just falls away. Javi realizing he loves Leo while Leo is fighting for his life is peak soap opera storytelling. I am fully predicting that Javi is going to defy Rafe's orders, jump on a plane, and play a massive role in Leo's rescue. Imagine the emotional reunion when Javi bursts through those doors in Alamainia. That is the kind of epic romance we tune in for. Now, let's pivot to a love triangle that is driving me absolutely insane. Brady, Sarah, and Xander. The spoilers reveal that Brady and Sarah are actually going to profess their love for each other. Yes, you heard that right. But don't throw your remote at the TV just yet. Even though Sarah exchanges I love yous with Brady, she cannot just erase Xander from her core. Deep down, she is entirely stuck on her ex-husband. I think this move with Brady is a huge mistake because it is so obviously a trauma bond. They have been spending all this time investigating the tainted Corazil drugs from Demera Pharmaceuticals, and Sarah is confusing adrenaline and partnership with true love. Brady Black is a great guy, but let's look at his history. He is the ultimate rebound guy. He constantly falls for women who are secretly in love with someone else, or who are completely unhinged like Kristen. Sarah is trying so hard to convince herself that she can move on with a safe, stable guy like Brady. But Xander is her soulmate. Remember a few weeks ago when Philip locked Sarah and Xander in a room together? That was a stroke of genius. It forced them to confront the magnetic pull they still have. Xander has done some terrible things, the baby swap, his days as a hitman, but his love for Sarah has always been his redeeming quality. I predict that Sarah is going to walk down the aisle with Brady only to stop dead in her tracks when she looks at Xander in the pews. She belongs with the bad boy who would burn the world down for her, not the safe guy who just wants to play house. And speaking of burning the world down, the corporate bloodbath over Titan is reaching a boiling point. The fight to save Titan is getting incredibly intense, and there is so much on the line for Xander, Philip, and Gabby. All of their plans are heating up over the next 2 weeks. Gabby Hernandez is an absolute powerhouse, and I passionately defend her ruthless business tactics. She recently used her new Demera inheritance to secretly fund Titan, which is the ultimate slap in the face to EJ Demera. That's crazy. Gabby is essentially using Demera money to destroy Demera Enterprises. EJ is already retaliating with full force, putting the entire company and Gabby's safety in massive jeopardy. But you cannot underestimate the trio of Gabby, Philip, and Xander. Philip has the legacy knowledge, Xander has the ruthless muscle, and Gabby has the pure, unadulterated spite required to win this war. If we look back at the history of Titan, Victor Kiriakis built that company on cutthroat maneuvers and backroom deals. Victor would actually be so proud of the sneaky, underhanded tactics Gabby is using right now. I am entirely here for CEO Gabby. She is going to wipe the floor with EJ, especially since EJ is currently distracted by his own collapsing empire and the arrival of John Oliver's mysterious new character. Finally, we have to talk about a storyline that is just tearing my heart into a million pieces. Julie Williams is going to share a kiss with Foster. Can you believe it? Julie and Foster have been dancing around this connection, and they are finally going to figure out exactly where they want this romance to go. This is such a delicate, beautiful, and heartbreaking narrative. Doug Williams was the absolute love of Julie's life. Their love story spanned decades. They were the anchor of the Horton family. Seeing Julie try to navigate the dating world as a widow is so profoundly moving. A lot of Legacy fans are really divided on this. Some people think Julie should never date again out of respect for Doug. But I actually think this is incredibly realistic and beautiful. Doug would never want Julie to spend the rest of her life sitting alone in that big Horton house, just staring at old photographs. Foster is a gentleman, and he understands that he isn't replacing Doug. He is just offering Julie companionship for her next chapter. That kiss is going to be filled with so much guilt, grief, and hope all mixed together. Susan Seaforth Hayes is a daytime legend, and she is going to act the absolute house down in these scenes. I just know I am going to need a whole box of tissues when this airs. So, what do you guys think? Are you terrified for Chanel and the baby? Do you think Javi and Leo are endgame? And please, tell me I'm not the only one screaming at Sarah to just go back to Xander already. The next 2 weeks in Salem are going to be a roller coaster of emotions, and I cannot wait to ride it out with all of you. Let me know all your thoughts and wild theories down in the comments below.